And I'm back, ready to continue. I wouldn't be able to do something like this for a game I didn't really enjoy. Like, if I weren't having any fun, I couldn't sit here and play through a whole, game like this to talk about it. So part of the credit I give to this game is that it's just so enjoyable that I can sit here for hours upon hours and play it and talk about it, and never run out of things that really keep my brain engaged. Even having played it before, in case you haven't gathered by now, in case I haven't said it enough, I really like this game. And here's the first puzzle I've done with fans. I'm just trying to pre-assess the consequences of my actions here. Because once I jump onto that fan, I don't know how I'm going to get back. Oh, there's a ladder. Okay. Phew. Oh, here's the solution. You get the 2 fans, but you only need 1. The other fan could press the button. This fan launches a hexahedron, and you've got it to press the button and get the sigil. So yeah, you learn 2 things about fans from this one. 1, they launch things, and 2, they have weight. I would say those are about equally useful properties. Yeah. Fans are a perfectly fine puzzle element. I do talk about them with a little bit of derision, along with the other element that's yet to be unlocked. Only because, to my personal taste, I'm not a huge fan of launching stuff all over the place as part of the puzzle. I like more of the stationary logic element. That's not to say I don't like puzzles in motion. I played Portal 1 and Portal 2, and those are great. And those are heavily motion-based puzzles. But for this game, I like the puzzles that are more thinkers. Like, what's the logic here, not what's the movement here. Then again, the fans are, in their placement and activation, just as much logic as movement. So it's not a major complaint. It's not even a complaint at all. It's just a personal preference thing. The tomb. Wait, read this in order. No context, no purpose, and no foundations from which to construct them. There are answers here if we look hard enough. We have to work together on this. I like these 2. I also like that Dog makes it into Road to Gehenna. That's fun. Is there a connector here? Did I miss something? Is there a connector here that I can bring back? I think I just saw one. Okay, here's one. I might be going crazy. Oh, jeez. Okay, use the lasers to keep the thing open. There we go. That's where we're going. And then jam to keep this open. And use the connector to grab this laser and bring it over. Is that the solution? Whoops. I promise I'm good at this game. I promise I know what I'm doing. And another connector. Alright. Seems to be suggesting that we should use this one to make the final connection. I can do that from like right here. Is that reachable? Ooh, that's a little bit of a conundrum. Little bit of a pickle. It does suggest one solution, but I could try another. That being, bring this back through. Hold the door. Walk through, use this jammer on the other one. You don't even have to do that. Just, there we go. So yeah, another decoy connector. Or I guess receptor, not connector. And now, I think there's something else you can do here. I do remember this. Let's go ahead and bring this back. I think that's where we want that. Not quite. I don't think we can do it from there. Okay, so this happens somewhere else. You might have noticed I was looking at the moon earlier, and if you don't know what I'm gonna do, stay tuned, because you're in for a surprise. Oh. No one wants to talk to me. Alright. Some kind of functional system. It's all very well on paper. It's what something does, not what it's made of. And couldn't you and I design a series of tin cans on strings that qualified as being conscious? I mean, you'd need a lot of tin cans, wouldn't you? I'm gonna answer that as intuitively as possible, which is, I don't know about that. It would. I'm beginning to think I'm a computer and I know I'm conscious. Okay, I think this will piss him off. That he might shut down the conversation. But it would be funny. I want to see what he has to say. They have to be. Now you're pushing it too far.
Do not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
So, the tone Milton brings at the end of the conversations is reassuring that he's not trying to, like, antagonize you or bully you. He's just poking at your ideas and trying to get to the root of them. But at the same time, never really accepting any answer except those which are obviously logically correct. But of course, those can only get you so far. And he acknowledges, like, the alternative accounts are also ridiculous. You'd be forgiven by any reasonable observer for choosing the best of a bad bunch. So, like, Milton, along with you, is basically using kind of the Socratic method. Just continuing to ask questions until you reach those that simply can't be answered. I think part of understanding Milton is understanding the intention here. Like, he's not an enemy, he's not hostile. He's stuck in the same place you are, and he's just trying to make sense of it, while also doing his job of forcing you to confront, ideas you might not otherwise. You, the character, not you, the player. Although, I guess he's making you, the player, think as well. Moonshot. Okay, here we go. Watch closely. That is a 3D object in the world space. Wait for it. Oh, the lights on that. Yeah, that's the Aperture Science logo from Portal. Ah, and it's blinding! There we go. Love that. Okay, now let's do the puzzle. And try not to go blind every time we look at that. Toggleable fan. What are we doing here? Okay. This is pretty straightforward. This actually maybe should have been the first puzzle we did. Connect. Connect, and you're like, oh, but how are you going to connect this to that? There's no way. You use the air. Save the most advanced technology for last. There is a star sigil somewhere around here, but I don't have any idea where, so I won't bother. Maybe I just walked right past it. Oh well. Turning volume up a little bit. Sorry for the slightly inconsistent game volume. I'm just fiddling with it. I don't really have it nailed down to a science. I hope it sounds okay on playback. I hope you can hear it as much as you want to. On to World 3. Zone 3. Area 3. Place number 3. Whoop. Gonna keep an eye out for the audio logs. Progress report. The basic skeleton of the simulation is now running on EL. The next step is to test whether the generated scenarios make sense, or do we wait for the iteration module to So another text exploring what personhood means and one idea of it. This idea of the 5 pieces of the soul. I don't need to name what I'm laughing at, because that's really immature. Democracies alter. So there's a bit of a historical perspective on defining personhood and what that can mean in terms of social consequences. By defining those who are your adversaries as non-people, you justify doing terrible things to them. And yeah, that has a presence in a lot of history as something, you know, horrible and a basis for horrible things. Second terminal. Body and soul. The darkness of heathenism. Sun Wei Yang to Arcadi. Stupid, obscure, meaningless acronym. Shame that Alexandra didn't like the name that she's responsible for. Yeah, another text that really humanizes all the scientists involved with this and keeps them really grounded and down to earth. I'll go to the left first. Again, pardon my random spinning. That's just kind of something I naturally do to assess the situation. I can step on the button to launch both of these boxes, but I should know I can do that because the ladder will take me over. Let's go. If I mess up, I can always reset. You can sort of play the metagame just a little bit by understanding that the game doesn't usually want you to get stuck, and so probably won't let you do something easily that would cause that to happen. Exception being the over the fence puzzle, which will gladly let you get yourself stuck. Fast sigil. No trouble at all. Could it be that that pillar isn't real, but just an artificial construct? Oh, okay, real pillars are artificial constructs. Could it be that that pillar is a different kind of artificial? I'll go left first. I see the QR codes, I'll read them. I'll read them now. Ooh. Sibling rivalry. Damn. They bicker like children. Well, they are children. In a literal sense. I love these two. There's an evolution of character there. I did say I was going to talk ahead about, you know, spoilers and stuff. Before we saw a back and forth between Sheep and Dog, where Sheep is the one asking questions and Dog is providing kind of half answers. Now it's Dog asking questions and the Shepherd providing answers. And so it shows the progression of Sheep's character into the Shepherd. I just had a flash of memory about this puzzle. I remember it giving me a bit of a hard time, so let me see how much of this I can get through quickly. There is no crouch button. Constantly whirring, so that will be active as soon as I put a fan in it. Same goes for all of these. I can pull this fan here, and now I have a fan. Now what am I going to do with it? Oh, get a cube. So that's a good start. Oh, and I can pull this fan as well, so now I've got two fans. This seems to be going a lot better than it did the first time I did it. Okay, if you elevate this cube, it'll block that and turn off this fan. Do I have to, like, kind of speedrun it? There we go. That turns off that fan, giving me another fan. Huh. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'm starting to see it. Yep. Sort of, kind of, a little bit. There's something to this. The question seems to be, how do I break this up? Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is a really fun solution here. Oh, that didn't work. I need to use... Oh, no. Okay, luckily I can go the other way. So what we actually have to do is... This is a little funky, but we... Oh, no. Maybe that's not it. Maybe I'm wrong. Wait. Okay. There we go. Run it. Got it. So, I will break that down. It was a bit of a quick thing. Get up here, drop the box, jump into the fan, and zoom, zoom, boom. Yeah, that took me like at least 15 minutes to figure out the first time I looked at this puzzle. It was a wild one. As my playthrough goes on, I get more and more paranoid, like, am I still recording? Yes, I'm still recording. OBS continues to work just fine. As a side note, this is my first time using OBS, and I was surprised by just how intuitive it was. So, shout out to this open source software. Love it. Hey! Is it that easy? Amazing. There's gotta be more we can do with this. Yep, there's a star sigil. If I can get to it somehow. If I can get red. So my immediate thought is, where's that red gonna come from? That puzzle's right over there. Can I do something with that? Oh. I don't think I can get up there. That would be a way to get line of sight. Not that that would help. I guess I'm just going to move this back to the door here and see if I can get red that way. Is there a connector in sight? Maybe I can get it from the puzzle next door. I'll do that one first and reassess. Eagle's nest. Okay, so here's a fan. Which launches us... Oh, I see. Yeah, this probably took me a little bit to figure out too, but now I immediately get it. Drop a cube in the air to get it inside. And now, by doing that, we have a cube. So, the secret is to get both of those cubes in there, stack them, and then you can... I'll demonstrate shortly. Use your body to block the laser. And then run right through. And wonder what you do next. Oh, there you go. Take the fan if you want. Not that there's much to do with it. Well, maybe there is. No way to get red from here. There is no red here. Where is red? That might be a good first question to ask. Where is red, and then where can it go? We found all the sigils, so the star's all that's left here. I won't take too long looking at this. I'll just give it a quick kind of glance to see if I can work it out. We have a red source up high there, and then a red connector a little lower over there. That's probably the one that we have a chance of reaching. I'll look for that. I can't think of any other red that would be accessible. I don't even remember if the other puzzle had red. So let's see if I can see that. No, it's too far out of reach. Whoops. Yeah, no dice. Well, hang on. Maybe... So that's not quite a great time for the alternate use button, though. I can basically reposition this until I find a position that works. Close, but no cigar. Is there any other angle I can get there? Alternate use button keeps the connections. Just run around, see if I can get them to both flash. No dice. Whoops. Let me redo those connections. Maybe I can prop it up back here. I don't know if that'll work, but it's worth a try. And that falls short there. Let's try this. And again, not quite. If I slide this over, is there some angle? I'll inch it over a little more. That's a little too far. I think it's just the blue. Lock that off. Does that stay down? That worked. So make that 7 stars. Yeah, I'm kind of a genius. Alright, and that's every single sigil in this world. And we get a reward. We get ourselves a play button. If I can do this very basic puzzle. Without embarrassing myself. Jeez. Okay, try that as a starting point. That'll work. Yeah. You just keep trying with these and eventually you find a combination that works. This is simultaneously the coolest and most annoying puzzle component in the game. Like, it's really creative, and I love it, and I also get annoyed by it. It's okay, though. Oh, and we'll get to see plenty of that in the next world.
You may wonder why I have created these labyrinths for you. Why you can reach eternity only through struggle. But have faith, for these trials serve the betterment of your kind.
He's not wrong. They do that. Take him in order. Towards the tower by proving his worth, thus earning the key to each sacred gate. So that is a very strong parallel to the structure of this, the simulation, the program. It's quite literally what we're doing. We're going through each trial, getting the sigils that act as keys to the tower. Thank you, Archives, for keeping my video PG and censoring all that. Yeah, imagine if aliens find those. Yeah, imagine. I love that this game can both be very deep and very silly. It's a great work of fiction that can make you think, can make you laugh, and make you cry. And the Talos Principle does all three of these things in a pretty good proportion to each other. It should be in order: a lot of thinking, a good bit of laughing, and just the occasional bit of crying. And that's the balance it strikes. Yeah, here comes the crying. As things start to break down. Too little time to grieve. Yeah, Arkady and Alexandra are sort of kindred spirits in a way. Because the sentence, too little time to grieve, would probably resonate with Alexandra. You can read that both ways, too. Too little time to grieve as, I can't take the time to grieve, I have to stay focused and keep going, I can't slow down. And also, you can take it in the way like, if I wanted to grieve, there's just not enough time to do it properly. Because processing grief, depending on the circumstances, that's something you might never get over, or something that can take a really long time to get over, and everyone in this world is having to deal with it all happening so fast, there's just no time to process. So, a little bit of grim reality there. Wrap around the corner. So here's our first record puzzle. Some of these challenges must be designed with cooperation in mind, but I am the only one here. Sheep, what if you used 200% of your brain? Alright, a pretty good introduction to the record mechanic. You have to play with it a little bit to realize what it does. And here's basically why this one kind of bothers me, is because with the other puzzles, you can basically go as fast as you can go, but when you record, you kind of have to predict how fast you're going to be and give yourself a little bit of leeway in case you're not as fast as possible. So you do spend a lot of time just idling to make sure you don't have to go back and redo it. I gave myself more than enough time there while I was talking. So the connector remains in place and set up, and it's easy enough to do that. Red sigil. These are gonna get a lot more complicated. I guess not a lot more complicated. I do know some of the like bonus puzzles, like the post-star sigil puzzles, they do get complicated. Let's carry on. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of record puzzles. Do a red one before a green one. Oh look, another puzzle. And another voice telling me I'm special. And another broken down computer with fragments of nothing. This world is a bad joke perpetuated by a cruel god too dumb to hit the off switch. Dogs should do stand-up comedy. Dogs got the right attitude for it. Self-help tutorial. Okay, here's the one that actually introduces this. Record yourself standing on a button. Oh boy, do that and then go record yourself doing it again. 10 seconds is probably enough. And then we can just slam the off switch. And we do it again. On the plus side, it's sort of a feature because the more time you spend standing still as you solve the puzzle, that's more time to think. And if this game is about anything, it's about thinking. So why not let you soak in it a little more every time you hit the record button? Here's another just record. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Now how am I gonna do that? Okay, there's a really simple solution. I know it. I just have to... Oh yeah, one and then the other, right? So I'll hold open this gate, and then I'll switch over to the other one, and I'll walk through, and it'll let me out. Yeah, this is tutorializing doing things in sequence. Open one, and then the other. And again, giving myself way more time than I'm going to need. Just so I don't have to do this again. I guarantee you it will happen multiple times where I mess up on my first attempt at a recording, and I have to do that again. Oh, and now I have to keep track of my word use, because I might say recording and be talking about the in-game recording, or I might be talking about the fact that I'm recording my gameplay. So yeah, Talos Principle just made everything way more complicated for me. I still love it though. Damn. That's deep, @. That's deep. Sorry, that sounded snarky. I think dog's getting in my brain a little bit. I really did mean it. The game allows you to record yourself for up to 5 minutes. Do not record yourself for 5 minutes. You never have to do it for that long. Most I ever did, I think, was like 1 or 2 minutes. And even that was way more than I needed. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. This one's a little tricky. It may be trickier than I thought. The idea was to jump up and sort of block the laser. But I might not be able to do that. The problem, of course, is that can't proceed while the fan's blowing. To stop the fan from blowing, you have to break up both of these laser paths. Oh, you can do it from there. So I guess I can record myself standing there and blocking that, and then I can go and block it the other way, and hopefully the timer will give me enough time to do the setup and run through. So, keep that in place. And yeah, I can only give myself so much time here. Actually, I can give myself a lot of time. I'll just sit here until about the 20-second mark, and then switch it over. Again, just giving myself more leeway than I'll probably need. Yep, plenty of time, even without the sprint. That's another thing, is that they don't design puzzles with the expectation that you'll be sprinting at all. And the sprinting never really factors into a puzzle solution, I don't think. It's just a pure convenience feature. Oh. Oh, at gave progeny to dog. Interesting. Let me reread at's final message to draw a connection there. Yeah, so at feels like they've kind of seen everything there is to see, and they're starting to get disillusioned, it seems. And then with the final words, life's short, they beget dog. Fatal flaw in series firmware. Life's short.
DNA is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember.
And that ties into the whole idea of preservation of humanity, the thing that Alexandra is so concerned with. That not only physical DNA forms a chain to the past, but our records as well. And seeing the impending end of humanity, Alexandra is just trying to make the most durable chain to the past that she possibly can.
What is this? I shall not allow the corruption of my garden. Be gone!
Cool. Again, I'm really not sure whether that's Elohim responding to anything real or whether he thinks that's a demonstration of his power. Alright, this is the last part of the puzzle, so I'll go do other puzzle stuff first. Like this. If I can get that through here. Not at that angle. I'll need to reposition a little bit. Yep. Another connector. Oh, there's a fan here. Okay, I think I can see what that's gonna be for. Yeah, let's work our way back. Oh. Get this connector, bring it over here to get our box. And then I can see it, yeah. This is a configuration that'll come up again later, I think. In other puzzles. I do remember at least one like this in Road to Gehenna. There might have been a couple. So, to show you real quick. Well, I say show you, but you're familiar with this game. You know what's going on. Or maybe you don't. I hope you do. I hope you're having fun. We gotta go get the connection with the red here, because we need to link up with that. And this is going to, at the same time, keep itself in the air and form a connection over there. So it's the laser's kind of doing everything at once. Best part is, we don't need to keep this open anymore, because that's doing what it needs to do. It's okay, because I know the real solution is actually to do this. I was testing you. If you realized that wasn't gonna work, congratulations, you passed. I'm just kidding, put another one on the scoreboard. How many times I thought one thing was a solution, but it's actually something else. There's a puzzle with this Sphinx that'll lead to a star. The burning heart always looks to the highest peak. I think I can work that out. Might need to look around a little bit. If there's some material outside I can use to do something. Is there a connector around here? I'll look at it again later. The right angle. Is that a pun? It may be a pun. Get this at pretty close to a right angle. Which also happens to be the correct angle if it works. Got through? Oh dear. Dang. Okay. Yeah, I'll need more time than that. Program failed to pass random memory test. Being torn limb from limb by machines for the rest of eternity becomes less and less appealing to me. I was all for it at the start. Not so much now. Interesting that they died here, because it doesn't seem like these things can kill you. Oh, they can! But you really have to try. Oh, wait. I am a bit silly. Or am I? Oh wait, there's a fan back there. Sillier than I thought. Wait, no. Wait, yes. Wait, no. What is that? How do I get there? One thing at a time. Here's an idea that won't work, but is interesting to think about. Alright. How to make this work. Oh, we got 2 connectors to work with and 1 hexahedron. I guess I could ensure that this stays open. Yeah, okay, now I've got it. Oh boy, it's not quite what we're going for. That's just about perfect. So now we can keep this guy pinned down. Yeah, now I've got it. Actually, I can give myself a better window for that, because I don't have to worry about precise positioning with this one. But with this one, you do want to get, we do want to get This one wants to get as straight a line as possible. It's trying to get the maximum time, and I think that's pretty close. Just long enough to slip through here. Got it. And now what I'm curious about is what's going on over here. I can jump up, probably get a glimpse. If I can somehow get inside, there's a star. So the question then is just how do I do that? I think I have to hit that from the front. So that's all the puzzles in this world. I'm gonna look around, see if I can remember exactly what piece you need and where to make this work. Maybe you get one out of one of these puzzles. Is there a way to do that? Not gonna work here. Also not here. Yeah, check the signs before you look inside any. There's one with connectors back here. I don't think there's gonna be any way to get that connector out though, because that's just a simple... Yeah, there's no way to do that. At least I don't think so. No, nothing doing. Oh, Milton's got something to say. Yeah, I won't stress too much about that. But if you can figure out how to get a connector out here and get the right laser, you just shoot it at the Sphinx's face and the heart will open up and give you a star. Consciousness is a contradictory concept and is therefore not real. What do you think? I don't, apparently. Very droll. What this conclusion means is that the certification program you undertook has been rendered obsolete. We can't test for something that doesn't exist. Therefore, you, along with quite a lot of other things, have been recategorized as a person. Your profile can thus be updated with administrator privileges. Awesome. Final question for you. Why are you doing all this? What's the point? I guess out of all these answers, the truth is probably the best one. And the one thing we're definitely accomplishing is getting more information. By we, I mean our character here. As they proceed, they learn more and more. So the truth is as good a motivation as any. Will you come back and speak to me sometime? No doubt. I like that. I do like Milton. All conflicts have been resolved by the administrator. Let's get to the comm portal. Who are you? Okay, so this does make Milton a little less endearing, knowing what's going on here. That's a little... Yeah, I forgot about that until I just saw it again, and I'm like, oh yeah, Milton's kind of a jerk. You can also kind of infer what's happening, because it does say loading Milton Library Assistant before that happens. Yeah. This is going to be our last green, so once we clear this, we unlock World C. But gonna keep doing all the puzzles, all the worlds in order. I'll do that in just a moment. I'm gonna take a quick break and then get right back to it.